Hello everyone and welcome to QE. Don't let anybody tell you can't become pregnant. We all have the power to be and have anything we want, and if you are destined to be a mother and have a child, then I promise you, find your path of happiness, learn to let go, and believe in the power of the universe, you will be pregnant too. When someone is interested in having a baby, they frequently search the internet for fertility tips. The problem when consulting Dr. Google is that you can't be sure if the information you're getting online is accurate or even safe. So the physicians at Genesis are sharing their favorite fertility books you should check out, with links in description. It starts with the egg. The fertility diet. The trying game. Making babies. Overcoming infertility. On a regional basis, thousands of women in Europe each year turn to Denmark to help them to get pregnant. The Nordic country of 5.7 million people has the greatest proportion of babies born through assisted reproductive technology, ART, while approximately 1.7% of all infants born in the US are conceived using ART. An estimated 8 to 10% of Danish babies are born thanks to these techniques, but it's not just the residents who benefit from its treatment options, notably its booming sperm industry. With some of the world's most liberal legislation on fertility treatment, as well as a less stigmatized culture around the procedures, Denmark has become an attractive destination for women from other countries as well. In the US, first-of-its-kind study finds that couples in North America are most likely to start trying to conceive in September, but that they are most likely to succeed in getting pregnant in late November and early December, especially if they live in southern US states. America is a tough place to be pregnant and give birth, whether it be ungenerous family leave policies, the price of a stay in the delivery room, or the cost of childcare. Motherhood in the US was not a right but a privilege. In the UK, between 750,000 and 800,000 babies are born each year. The average woman in Britain is likely to have had just one child by the age of 30, as compared to 1.8 on average for her own mother. In general, a fertile couple has a good chance of getting pregnant within a year. Out of 100 couples trying to conceive naturally, about 33 will conceive within 1 month. More than 80 will conceive within 1 year. More than 90 will conceive within 2 years. In the world, the average age for women to become pregnant for the first time in Italy, France, Canada, Germany, Spain, Denmark, Sweden, and the United Kingdom was 27 or older. In Asian countries, such as South Korea and Hong Kong, women tend to give birth to their first child aged 29 and above. The ages of first-time mums from 141 countries in the study ranged from 18 to 31.2 years, with the oldest ages being more common in Greece, Australia, and South Korea. In history, the first urine-based pregnancy test was recorded in ancient Egypt in 1350 BC, more than 3,000 years ago. A woman would urinate on barley and wheat seeds for a few days, and if they grew, it meant she was pregnant. If barley grew, she was pregnant with a boy, and if wheat grew, she was pregnant with a girl. Strangely, researchers in the 1960s tested this method and found it had a grain of truth, according to the National Institutes of Health. Higher than normal levels of estrogen in pregnant women's urine, scientists speculated, may stimulate the germination of seeds, but were useless at predicting the sex of the child. In the 15th century, pregnancy and childbirth were dangerous times in a woman's life, and most women wrote their wills once they knew they were pregnant. After she had given birth, the lady of the house would enjoy lying in, period. Girls usually married between the ages of 15 and 19, and their childbearing peaked between the ages of 20 and 24. Because of the common practice of sending children out to wet nurses, the time between pregnancies was brief, so the average number of children born to one mother was between 5 and 7. If she lived to around the age of 45, then that figure could rise to 10 children, but the dangers of pregnancy were such that this was uncommon. Around the 1900s, few pregnant women in Western Europe or North America had any contact with a medical practitioner before going into labor. By the end of the 20th century, the hospitalization of childbirth, a host of biomedical technologies from the pill and IVF to obstetric ultrasound and prenatal diagnosis had dramatically extended the reach of science and medicine into human reproduction. This shift has a long and complex history which of course predates the introduction of 20th century innovations. Despite a wealth of historical, sociological and anthropological writing on reproductive health and healthcare, we have had a relatively insecure grasp of profound transformations in the science and management of pregnancy since the turn of the 20th century. Religiosity, healthcare delivery has attracted some attention in contemporary literature. The religious beliefs and practices of patients play an important role in the recovery of the patient. Pregnant women and women in labor exhibit their faith and use religious artifacts. Human response to new developments regarding birth is largely shaped by religious beliefs. When assisted reproduction was introduced into medical practice in the last quarter of the 20th century, it was fiercely attacked by some religious groups and highly welcomed by others. Assisted reproduction is accepted in nearly all its forms by Judaism, Hinduism, and Buddhism, although most Orthodox Jews refuse third-party involvement. Contrary to this, assisted reproduction is totally unacceptable to Roman Catholicism, while Protestants, Anglicans, Coptic Christians and Sunni Muslims accept most of its forms, which do not involve gamete or embryo donation. Orthodox Christians are less strict than Catholic Christians, but still refuse third-party involvement. Interestingly, in contrast to Sunni Islam, Shia Islam accepts gamete donation and has made provisions to institutionalize it. Chinese culture is strongly influenced by Confucianism, which accepts all forms of assisted reproduction that do not involve third parties. Other communities follow the law of the land, which is usually dictated by the religious groups that make the majority of that specific community. If you have any questions, comment below to let me know, and I do my best to answer them. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to give us a like. New here, why not subscribe? And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a future video. And I'll see you in the next one.